Well, you all recall last, I think it was early November, I bought a Birkin along with a big giant snake plant. I brought that home and it's been a really nice plant that I have enjoyed, gotten bigger and bigger. But to my surprise, I have found that I have got an infestation of spider mites. Don't know where they came from. I don't think they were originally on the plant. I think they've gotten a lot worse. They would have gotten a lot worse if they were originally on the plant. But somehow one of the plants I brought in I've discovered these little spider webs on it. So we have got to take care of this immediately. Now the first thing you've got to do, of course, is to isolate that plant. Get it away from all the others. Keep it with only already infested plants, but you've got to wash away the spider mites. You can take these into a sink. Now those are artificial there on the side, so don't worry about those. They're just the rubber ones that I've got in little containers for decorative purposes. But anyway, I'm using this laundry soak sink here instead of my kitchen sink because it's been remodeled. I don't have a kitchen sink right now. I don't even have a kitchen. But anyway, just put your plant underneath the spray, as strong a spray as you can get. Now I don't have the option of any little handheld sprayer here, so I'm just going to put it under the faucet and let it trickle down and flow against each of the leaves. And I'll kind of assist it with my fingers. You can use a small paintbrush, makeup brush, whatever you have, but just get to the surface of the leaves so that you can brush off all of the spider mites, the webbing, because that webbing is protective of the eggs and everything that's underneath it. So I won't go individually leaf by leaf, but you've got to get in there and inspect each leaf, get under there and get all the spider webbing and all of the eggs, anything that you can rinse off. Just get it rinsed and get it gone, because that's your first step. If this were an outdoor plant or outside, you could take a garden hose and put it on a fine strong mist and do the same thing. So a nice watering is not going to hurt. Just don't overwater, especially for these plants that are slightly finicky like the Philodendron Birkin is. Just be careful, but get it hydrated and get all those spider mites rinsed away as much as you can. They'll just go right down the drain. They're gone. Those ones are history. Your next step to get rid of these invaders is to use insecticidal soap. I bought the Garden Safe brand insecticidal soap. You can get it from Amazon. I'll include an affiliate link here. Now this does kill soft-bodied insects, of which the spider mites is one. And basically you just need to spray tops and bottoms of the leaves, get into the stems, all the nooks and crannies. Now if you don't want to buy some, you can mix it up yourself by just mixing like about a quart of soft water and then a tablespoon of Murphy's oil soap, a mild dishwashing liquid, baby shampoo, that type thing. It's just something that puts fatty acids against the insect's body and kind of dehydrates them from the inside out. It kills them. Now, not as effective against the eggs, just depending on how hard the shell is. So you'll need a third treatment for the eggs, but I'll tell you about that. But with your insecticidal soap, I use these little brushes that I get at the Dollar Tree, real cheap, 3 for $1. I trim the ends off and kind of make me a little stiff, bristled, short brush that you can just brush up and down the sides. You want rid of all the insects that are stuck there, eggs that are stuck there, anything that you can rinse off and get rid of. If they are soft, maybe freshly laid eggs and don't have any kind of a hard shell, that might help. But be sure and get down into any of those little grooves and everything to clean everything off the plant. Now the insecticidal soap is supposed to kill the soft-bodied insects. There are potassium salts in these soaps. Don't use anything with a detergent or bleach mixture, etc., something like that. Sometimes the list of ingredients will show potassium laurate, and that means it's safe for this type of use. But just mix it up. Always before you use it, shake it well, because you want all that emulsification to occur between the soap and the water. And again, the soft water is best because it'll mix better than with hard water. It might try to precipitate out in hard water. Here in Dayton, I've got hard water, so I've got to use my distilled water, soft water. One of these days we're going to get a water softener. But I just use this brush to brush up and down the sides, down toward the ends, let it rinse off. I'm making a big mess in here, but this particular tables and shelves that I'm using, it's what is it, that wood laminate. I don't have to worry about it hurting the surface. And after all, it is a soft insecticidal soap, so no problem there. But brush these down, get in those little spots where you saw webbing, and be sure to get everything cleaned out there, because this is what will go in after you've rinsed everything. This is what's going to go down deep onto the leaf to get rid of everything that hid in every little nook, cranny, ridge of the leaf, or even some protective webbing that came down over top of them and kept them safe from being rinsed off in your sink. So this could be done. You could do this like one day, perhaps go in the next day, make sure you treat each leaf, because once it's dried, it has no effect whatsoever. It needs to be wet and on the insect to treat the insect. And again, I use this brush. You don't have to use the brush if you don't want to. Now, sometimes when I'm getting into some real nooks and crannies that I can't get real well, I'll spray the brush directly so that I can really get in there. Be sure to treat that soil too, and your saucer. You want everything that dropped into the soil, rinsed into the soil, you want that dead. Now my next step is horticultural oil. I've chosen to use neem oil. The RTU, ready to use, means it's already mixed. I don't have to worry about what amount do I mix with what amount. I just buy the ready to use. And then you do exactly the same thing. You're going to treat each leaf top and bottom, and this neem oil will take care of the eggs. It attacks the adult, the nymph, the larvae, and everything, but it also attacks the eggs because unlike the insecticidal soap that's only effective against the soft body, this will also get the hard egg and kill that and get rid of that too. So just go through and do exactly the same thing. You're going to do top and bottom of the leaves, every nook and cranny that you think they could get into. Just be sure to spray down into that, your little stems. Some of them have the little groove on this Birkin, have like a little grooved edge that attaches to the next leaf or into the main stem. Just be sure to get down into there and get that rinsed off, so you'll be sure to get every bug, because you've got to get them all. All you need to do is let one escape and they will breed and you're at it again. So my step is just to repeat each of the steps like for 3 days in a row. Do the soap one day, neem oil the next day. Next day do soap, next day do neem oil, until you feel like you don't see any other insects, and then still keep it isolated and everything. Keep it away from the other plants until you no longer see webbing, you no longer see anything. Now, I think after a couple of weeks of this, you should be free and clear. Make sure you treat plants that have been in the same room with this one. Give them a good going over. But mine seems like it's back to health again. It's bright, it's shiny. The neem oil helps it look shiny, looks really good. But I think I've conquered this one. I like the way it looks now. You can Keep treating yours like say 15 days in a row, because it takes about 5 days for it to mature from egg to adult. So after you've done this for a couple of weeks, you should be good. Treat the rims, treat the saucer, treat everything, and you can beat the spider mite. There's just no two ways about it. Treat it, takes a little bit of time and trouble, but I feel like I've conquered this one. So I'm good with setting this back with my regular plants. I'll just keep a little side eye on her to make sure she doesn't have a recurrence. And I will, all those plants that were in the same room, I'll keep an eye on them too and make sure we don't have anything going. But thanks for joining me today, and I hope this will help you get rid of any invasion you might have. Now I'll attach another video here I think you might like, or a playlist. Be sure and watch some more videos, and thanks for coming and watching this one today. Bye-bye.